So maybe just nobody else can make it. I mean, I know there was a couple people that were that said they were having trouble getting messages, but
are people
maybe
watching? Maybe.
Well, I haven't posted any because and I've never hit a live stream because I've been waiting for at least one person. I don't know. I just didn't want to get on here all by myself.
Gotcha.
You know. So yeah. What I'm looking for. So how's it going, man?
Good. Finally settling down a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, your digs look different. I wasn't. I kind of forgot why. That's why, because they're completely different.
I'm not in the corner anymore.
Yeah.
I have lots of space now. In fact, I'm on the other side of my room, which is my sculpting, painting area. My computer is now over there.
Oh wow.
So, and I have another room where all my games and other stuff is at. Yeah.
Nice. Now I'm in a corner. It's okay. It works pretty well. Daddy. All right. I'm going to work on a little armature for a figure for my daughter.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. She wanted a little miniature of her as a princess with a little unicorn.
Nice. Yeah, I have I haven't gotten to sculpt much yet. Still busy, but I'm getting there. I did make some armatures for the next set of characters I'm gonna do.
Sweet.
Because I still have 2 more people from my my friends who have to do their miniatures. So I gotta work on those. I was curious. I didn't get a chance to ask you because been busy, both of us moving and stuff. So what happened with MegaCon? The company?
Yeah, MegaCon Games.
Yeah.
It was just time to move on. I mainly financial, just needed got a really good job offer back in an industry I used to work in.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, decided to go for it. So
you're not doing
that's a short and sweet answer.
You're not doing sculpting at your new place?
Nope, I am a packaging design engineer now.
Oh, okay.
So I do 3D in corrugated and foam. But yeah, I'm still doing plenty of miniatures on the side. It's just like back in the olden days.
Yep.
So yeah, I know that's a bummer for some people to hear that. That, I'm not living the dream anymore, but that's okay. You can still sculpt.
Right. I mean, I was working in video game industry. And at the time it was like, oh my God, I'm doing video games.
Yeah.
Once you start actually working in the industry, you start to see the politics. You start to see that it's not all as fun and happy as it appears. And after you do it for a few years, it's like, I could work a different job that's not video games, make more money, and not be stressed and have to work weekends and late nights all the time. So, and like as I tell you, I do video games on the side on my own stuff.
Ah.
So I was like, so I'm still doing video game type stuff. I still do the exact same thing, modeling, animation, all that stuff. It's just I'm doing it for like medical industry now. So,
okay.
And sometimes we make apps or whatever. So when that happens, usually I'm the go-to guy there because they have the video game background.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I understand.
Yeah.
I also I picked up some Fimo Professional.
Yeah? What color did you get?
Well, I just got black and white so I can make gray.
Okay. Yep. I almost picked up their stock gray, but it's just so light. And I prefer it to be darker. I think it photographs nicer too when it's a little darker.
Yeah.
So I'll probably do what you did, because that green color, while it's kind of cool, it blends in with the green stuff a little too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched your video and I picked it up after that.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's good stuff. So do you think it have you sculpted much with it yet?
Not yet. I'm gonna use it
Okay
on these new ones.
Gotcha. I'm curious to hear what you think, if you think it feels much different, or I mean, I felt like it was still fundamentally the same, but there was a little bit difference.
Yeah, right now I have to add the softener to whenever I make
the mix quick.
Yeah. I'm curious.
Yeah.
You said
I always felt that way too.
You didn't have to do that?
I didn't do anything. I just opened it and started sculpting, and it was more supple than my own mix, freshly made.
Nice.
So yeah. Yep. This might be too large. I'll have to see. I don't do many animals, but it's kind of fun to do them every now and then. Okay, get my glue.
Hey Tom,
so what's your next? Yeah, go ahead.
You ever mess around with Instamold?
I haven't. Is that clear stuff?
Yeah, that's right here.
I remember seeing it for the first time at Cool Mini or Not had it, several years ago. Looked pretty cool. I almost bought some, but I didn't.
Yeah, I saw a video on it at I was like, wow, maybe I should try that for some of these one-offs that I'm doing instead of doing the whole mix thing.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna try that later also.
That's, you heat it up like with water, right? And then let it cool or something. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can reuse it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Man, I need to make something that I can mold so I can do that little vulcanize molding tutorial that people keep asking me about. You just made me think of. I actually need to see if my kit is even sold anymore. I hope it is, because it's a great little kit.
I was just about to ask you about that.
Yeah. I don't remember if I ever said what it was. It's called Vulcamold.
Vulcamold,
like vulcanize a mold. That's what it was. And it's just this little little hand clamp kit. I mean, you press it down and screw it down, and it's about, I don't know, like 3x4 maybe, something like that, maybe a little bigger. It's a cool little kit. And then it's all drop mold, obviously not spin cast or anything, but it is actual vulcanized rubber mold.
Nice.
So
yeah, I'd love to check. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah.
That right now, that's the one area I'm still trying to figure out. Is getting a good cast. I'm close. Every time I do it, I get a little better, but usually it's still, I'm doing pressure casting, all that stuff.
Oh yeah, with the resin, man, I want to get that set up still too, but I'll have to wait till I move to get that. But it's definitely on my list.
I'm sure my wife is happy that we moved, because whenever I would do all my casting, I had to do in the living room and the kitchen area.
Oh yeah, wow.
And she has a fear of like balloons or pressurized things. So when I would turn the compressor on to start putting the air in, it's totally fine, but for her it was like really bothering her. But I was like, I have no other place to do this. I got to do this here. So I'd have to wait till late night when she went to sleep.
But did you have a quiet compressor? Because my compressor is really loud.
If I threw like a pillow over it, it was pretty quiet. So yeah, in general, it's not too. Actually, it's the silent tear. I guess it's quiet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. That's the one part of the system that I have is the air compressor, but I got it for a brad nailer. I was planning on using it for the resin as well when I get the rest of the kit, but it's very loud.
Mm.
So,
yeah,
but
yeah, this one is fair for the price. This is pretty quiet. You know, you can hear it. You know, it's not
right.
but for the price, it's not like super loud. And it has the little adapter you can put on it where it like fills it up. It pre-fills it with air.
Oh, okay.
When I'm using the airbrush, I can, after a certain point, it shuts off and I can spray and it's not making any noise until it runs out. That's the other thing. I'm able to actually set up a painting booth so I can start painting minis also.
Awesome.
I had this in my hallway of my condo for like years. I could never set it up because I just didn't have the space. It's like now I'm able to do all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, because my wife
makes a difference.
My wife was like, "You have all this stuff. You don't do anything with it." And it's like, finally, I'm trying to say, "See, now I'm using it. I told you, I didn't have the space for it before."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really, really exciting. Only thing missing is time. I just need time.
Yeah. It never gets easier.
Need more time.
Yeah, I'm trying to refocus myself a lot more. So obviously, you know, I don't have as much time to sculpt, so I need to be more proactive and whatnot. So I've been, you know, kind of prioritizing the kind of games that I want to collect and have, and kind of going through a miniatures resurgence, which is good because that's what I like to do. So but those are also the kind of games that I really want to be playing. So I'm trying to weed out a bunch of my old stuff and even get rid of miniature stuff that I'm not going to play, and just concentrate on what I can do and enjoy, and quit just having a collection for the sake of it.
Yeah, that was during my move. I also made the sell pile, which is over here.
Mm-hmm.
All these board games that I'm like, I'm never going to play these. Just got to get rid of them.
It's a good time in the world, though. If you ever want to sell stuff, people are looking for it. That's good. It's not like you just have to garage sale it or something.
Yeah, board games are really blowing up. I was shocked to Barnes and Nobles, and I looked and I said, "Oh, there's some board games there," and I figured, "Oh, it's just a handful." And then I turned the corner, and it was an entire section.
Yeah,
it was just like one shelf, and then it turned out to be like a whole aisle, and they had everything, like all the.
You're right. Yeah, all the big hobby ones.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing."
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right. So what's your next project going to be?
Just these two. You mean sculpting wise?
Yeah.
These two characters. One's gonna be a Goliath, so he'll be slightly bigger than the other one, and then the other guy, his character in the game keeps changing so much. Like he's changed class, he's lost the body parts. Like his leg got bit off by a dragon. So I'm gonna just basically try to incorporate all these things into him. So it'll be interesting.
That's funny.
It's like, even when I asked my the other guys, like, "Hey, what does this character look like? What is he?" It's like, man, we can't give you a definite thing because it wouldn't actually represent him. So I took some of their ideas, and then I'm just gonna do what I usually do, is also just give my view of having seen how he plays and stuff. And then I also throw in a little bit of the actual person who's playing the character in there. So.
Cool.
So, but yeah, we'll see how it turns out. What miniature games have you been wanting to play, or that you watch, whatever?
Yeah. So, well, I just backed Relic Blade, the second incarnation of it. Just a second. Sorry, I had to get up and reach something. Yeah, the second incarnation, I just backed that, so I'm excited to play that. We've got all our miniatures together, my kids and I, from the first box set, and hoping to play it very soon. And then Frostgrave. So there's going to be a lot of skirmish games in on my list. So Frostgrave. And then the last one that I really want to play is Saga, which is a Dark Age skirmish game, you know, Viking Age, I should say. So, and I plan on using my awesome Redbox game English miniatures for that. So they make really nice looking Saxons. Yeah, there's some others too, but those are the kind of immediate ones on my list. I'd love to get back into an army game, maybe 40K. It's very expensive, and I'm kind of interested in other game systems. But man, the new Gene Stealer cultist figures, that's something that was around when I first started playing, and my friend always played it, and I always thought it was kind of cool, but I was too into Space Marines. But now the new miniatures and everything are so awesome. Very tempted by that.
Nice.
So we'll see. Might get enough for the Kill Team skirmish version at the very least. So that'd be fun. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else though, but there's always something to grab your attention, that's for sure.
Yes, there is. That's like the hard part for me, is to more things, because everything looks so damn good.
Yeah. Let's see. This is tricky. I'm going to try and basically make this as these. Oops, I'm off camera. I'm going to try and make this as one figure, but it's going to be two things.
Okay.
Well, I might sculpt it separately, and then it'll be two pieces that you glue together or something. I don't know. Okay. I'm tempted to just put it all together as one. The legs are longer than they're supposed to be right now. So we'll have to see about that.
How long do you think it'll take you to finish that?
Not very long. These little kid ones, like that little I'm calling it a badger bear, that little animal that I made in the last video, that only took a couple hours. Well, not a couple. I mean, it took more than that, but it wasn't that long. There's just, you know, she's not going to have a lot of equipment and stuff, you know, detail. Equipment always adds time for me. You have to worry about attaching it and making sure that's right. And then, you know, typically sculpt it separately and, you know, file it down and everything for things like swords and whatnot. But when it's just one piece, you can just main form without lots of gizmos and doodads. You just kind of start pounding through it. At least that's how it is for me.
That sounds like what I'm learning.
Yeah. Have you done any weapons yet? I don't think you haven't, have you?
Yeah, I did.
Did you? Okay, I couldn't remember.
Maybe not on any of the ones I showed you though. Now that I'm thinking about it, I have this early one I did when I was just trying to get the hang of the sculpting. So I never attached it.
Oh, here, let me switch the screen to you. Ooh, here we go. There it is.
So
cool.
I had this guy here. I didn't do his arms because I have the sword here, and I was supposed to attach it. I don't know, something like this, where he's like dragging it behind him or something.
Oh yeah, cool.
Horribly showing this on the camera. Anyway, there we go. So something like that. So this sword I did milliput and filed it down. You drew it out and then filed it down and all that, and then attached the metal with the green stuff.
Oh, cool.
And then I think I was gonna go over this with Fimo for like detail, just on the hilt. But this is as far as I got with this guy.
That's pretty far.
Yeah. So it's one of the early.
Is that one of your earlier ones?
Yeah, before I started doing all my friends' miniatures.
Right.
So that's why I never finished this one. But I like, yeah. And I did the. Oh yeah, remember my character, the dwarf. He had the
Right.
hammer and the shield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so those are the weapons I've done.
That's right. Cool.
I can't find my character. I seem to have misplaced a bunch of stuff somehow during the move that I'm still hunting
Yeah,
down.
that happens. I know. I'm really hoping there's I think there's one box that has a kind of a variety of little things that's stuck in our little storage area that I'm going to try and get to maybe another weekend or so. Some sketchbooks and stuff I need to get at, but I really hope it wasn't lost. That would stink. But, oh my gosh, I keep going off the camera. I better move the camera because I keep going off. There we go. I meant to have this armature done before the Hangout started so I could be skinning, or at least posing. But I didn't have a chance. So yeah, new video's going up tomorrow. That's exciting.
What? Oh, what's it gonna be on?
It's gonna be on crafting swords. This sword actually, but.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, oh, here it is again.
Cool. And that was just straight green stuff?
Yep, the blade is green stuff. Green stuff and Aves. I always do. Well, this whole figure is done with a mix of either Procreate and Aves or green stuff and Aves. But whenever I do my swords, I always do the blades in green stuff and Aves. I've done them sometimes with Procreate, but I just like the way it files a little more with the green. And I think I also subconsciously like that it's a different color, I guess. Like it's a little easier to see that it's sharp and it stands out as a weapon. I don't know. Because they're really, when you Procreate or green stuff mixed with Aves is fairly similar. It's a little different, but when you're doing this, it's very similar. So
does the Ave
slow
down the curing?
No, the Aves actually cures a little faster.
Oh, okay.
Not terribly so, but the biggest way you can tell that it's faster is if you actually heat it up. It will cure rock hard. It will completely cure much faster, and it'll be rock hard. But I do feel like it sets up a little faster as well. The biggest reason I do it is it makes the putty a little more clay-like when you're manipulating. It's still definitely putty, but it's not nearly as gummy. It kind of smooths it out, and I don't know. I guess in a way, it almost feels like conditioner, kind of like the Mix Quick does. Just because it's not so tense and gooey like the putty by itself is. So I really like that. I know some people do the same. I think that you can get a similar sort of property from Milliput mixed with green stuff for Procreate. So
okay,
if you keep messing with that, you could give that a try. But the Aves is almost impossible to sculpt with by itself because it's very, very soft. But it'll cure super rock hard. But it's real mushy and it's just mushy. That's the only way I can put it. But when you mix it with the green stuff, it gives it a little more substance. So it's like they help each other,
Got it.
Aves is too mushy by itself and green stuff's too gummy. And so together they turn into more of a nice clay kind of material. So I can get my heater out here. But yeah, I like that stuff a lot. And it's pretty durable.
Cool.
Oh my gosh. Where is it? There we go. I have everything at hand, but it's sometimes harder to get to. Just gonna zap this with my putty oven here for a couple minutes. Then I should be able to pose it some. Right. You know, next video the video after this one will be the cape one that people voted for, but I had to get this one finished up first. Hoping to get in a better rhythm, and I'll probably start doing more of the voting to be like 3 choices of things that I'm ready to go on. Rather than, which I know what I want to do with capes, but I didn't have any footage banked for that one. I was like, dang it. So yeah, that was funny. Oops. But yeah, trying to think else what's going on.
Oh, I wanted to ask you also.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to prepare for next year. What convention are you going to any conventions next year? You think?
Yes, I'm definitely going to 2. I'm trying to. I really want. There's a third one I really want to go to, but I don't know. So I'll tell you in order. So first one, I'm definitely going to Adepticon. It's in March 20 something.
Okay.
Registration's open for that. I'm teaching 2 classes there, but you know, obviously nobody needs to take my classes if they're going to be there. It'd be awesome just to hang out. And I've already been talking with I've got my buddy Patrick Keith who's going to be there, and there's going to be a couple other sculptors. We might see if we can get some sort of little hangout going on with other sculptors, because we're just trying to bring that back. It's kind of, I've talked about that before, just how there's lots of sculptors out there, but they never seem to gather anymore. So that's the first one. The second one will be Gen Con. I always go there. You know, it's, even though I moved away, I'm still very close to there. And so I'll be there, and I'll definitely be teaching classes there as well. And the last one, and Gen Con's in August, I should say. And the last one is, and actually, this should have been the second one, is Historicon, which I can't remember if it's in June or July. I've been invited to teach at that one, but I don't know if I am going to be able to make it this year. So I really want to, and I'm going to try. Yeah. Actually, I didn't think about this one, but I might try and go to Origins as well. But that will, I don't know if that would probably just be for fun if I went there. So I don't know if they do classes. They probably do. I just don't know. I'll have to ask. I've got Sandra Garrity would probably know. I'll just ask her. So anyway, so yeah, for sure, Adepticon, Gen Con in Virginia. So yeah,
right, I'm gonna check where these are at and when they're happening.
Oh yeah, I didn't say that. Adepticon's in Chicago. Gen Con is in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I just know the Historicon somewhere in Virginia. I don't remember where. So, but yeah, they're a lot of fun, and I've said this before too. It's a long way, but if you can get to ReaperCon, which I believe is in October every year now, that's an awesome one. That's probably the best one. That one or Adepticon is probably the best one you can go to for sculpting.
Okay.
And all of that stuff. Adepticon is great. But it's a little. There's just not as many of the sculptors there, but there's more coming, and their hobby seminars are some of the best out there at the moment at Adepticon. But ReaperCon, everybody's there. You know, basically any sculptor that does a decent amount of work for Reaper is there, and tons of painters, and it's incredible.
All right.
So yeah, that's in Texas, Denton, which is by Dallas. So yeah.
And you said that one's in October?
That one's in October, yeah. So that just passed, and that one I hope to go to this next year as well. But maybe I haven't made any plans.
Maybe if they're far enough apart, I could actually go to both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to make it to at least one of those next year.
Cool. Awesome.
I just want to get more. One, I would like to meet up with you in person.
Yeah,
Also,
that'd be awesome.
I never really been to any of those particular conventions for sculpting or board games or anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, Gen Con is amazing for board games these days. Used to have a decent amount of miniatures, still does to a degree, but it's definitely more of a board game thing nowadays. Board games and RPGs. Adepticon is all miniatures. You might find, but it's smaller. You know, it's like it's several thousand people, not tens of thousands of people, like Gen Con is, and I'm not sure what Historicon is, but it's pretty large too. But Historicon and Gen Con or Adepticon are all miniatures, so everybody's playing miniature games and buying miniature games and miniatures. And then Reaper obviously is pretty miniature focused because they're a miniature company. Yeah, so but Gen Con is just, it's crazy how huge it is and everything, but it's definitely a spectacle. So okay, let's see. Let's see if I can get this to go. I had to come with a list of topics to these things. I keep forgetting to do that. Just things to help start the conversations. And
so nobody else is here?
Let me check the viewport to see. Now I do have, no, there's no other viewers. Now I do have it unlisted, but I do have it so that anybody who does have the link can watch it. Mm-hmm. But I'm just, we used to have 2 or 3 other people.
Yeah.
On the and they're all still on Patreon, so that's cool. I mean, I just don't. I'm just worried that they're missing this somehow because I mean, I had so much trouble. It's basically the same interface, but they ported it into YouTube. The only main thing, crap, I just dropped my thing. The only main thing that I am unsure of how to do because it's not in the same place anymore and I haven't found anywhere similar is how to schedule it. Like before you could schedule it and there'd be that loading page with the time and date and everything and where people could post, if they'd be there or if it was working. And now there doesn't appear to be anything like that as far as I can tell. So I don't know.
Have you seen that Kingdom Death Kickstarter?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I haven't taken as long of a look as I would like, but that's wild, man. I can't believe too that it's basically the same. They're just kind of reprinting it. Yeah, that's incredible.
It's pretty like, you would think at $200-$400 for just the base game that it would be a more niche, like you would think it'd be smaller audience for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess a lot of people got everybody lying around. I'm just blown away. I was like, wow.
I thought it was hilarious that, and I say it's hilarious because I think it might be sort of a joke, but the delivery time is 4 years out.
Yeah,
and I think that's a joke because it took them 4 years to do it last time, but there's no way it's going to take them 4 years this time. I mean,
no, he explained that he meant 4 years is when everything will be done, but during that time he'll be releasing the different things out. He's just saying, at least 4 years for everything to be completely done and
gotcha.
delivered. And considering it took 3 years to do the first one, he's probably knows exactly what
he's just making sure. Yeah, he's making sure he's got the time. Yeah, that's smart.
And also, you got to put those miniatures together. It's just so many things about it I would think it would be such a smaller audience for it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. Maybe there's more people who are cool at putting together miniatures.
Yeah. I don't know. Or every miniature person that is cool with it is getting in on that game. Yeah, because it's definitely a good point, because that's a barrier for a lot of people. Because it's technically a board game, but I guess not really, because it's a hobby thing.
Yeah, I guess actually maybe that's the way to look at it, is that it's not board game people who are getting, but more like miniature.
Yeah, but normally you're right. Normally people like that aren't into the games where you have to put together the miniatures. And I mean, these aren't even like easy snap together things. These are model kits.
These things have 1 billion pieces.
Did you get on the first one?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, I thought you did.
I'm one of the maniacs.
Yeah, well, I think you're a smart investor, because everybody that I knew that got in that wanted to sell theirs got like $300 to $500 for it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, it's also it's because it's like those miniatures are like one of the levels I aspire to at least get close to, like just really really good stuff.
Yeah.
Insane stuff, but really good. But yeah, the miniature, like you pull out the pieces, this is 1 billion pieces. It's like your head starts to spin because there's just so many things. Part of it, though, is what he does is he gives you extra pieces, so you're kind of making it the way you want to. You can kind of customize it how you want. So,
right. Yeah, I got to play my friend's copy and see a lot of those miniatures. It was pretty cool. I really like the game too.
I haven't. I've had the game now, and I still have not played it, just because it's hard. It's hard to get any game to the table. These days, but particularly that one is like a. But how is it? How's the actual game?
So I liked it a lot. The only thing that I keep thinking about how I want to phrase this, because it's not bad, but the only thing I noticed about it that I had to kind of shift my mindset of was that you're playing together. You're basically playing your settlement together. You're not playing a hero that you're investing in and leveling up, like in D&D, where you're investing in your character and you're building a story for the whole settlement. But from game to game, there's a good chance you're going to be playing a different person because of the bad stuff that happened. Maybe they got injured, maybe they got killed, or even if they survive, they could go insane and you could lose control of them for a little while. And so as we would go from one session to the next, I would get the next character, and I might be bummed that I didn't have my previous one, or I might actually forget and realize, wait, oh shoot, I don't have that anymore because this is that guy who's like level 1 again. And so, but I really like the concept of just going out and fighting a beast and getting what you get from it, and then taking it back and developing your town. It's like an element of this old Warhammer Quest game that I really like. Just the idea of having of seeing like story in the background, not just from when you're fighting and everything. So that was a lot of fun. But
nice.
Yeah, it's cool. You should try it sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe if you have like a long weekend, because you can bust through several encounters. They're fun, and they're engaging, but they really aren't super duper long to do. So you could probably do quite a few in a day and see some real progress. And then maybe you just stop until the next time, or stop forever.
Yeah, I only got as far as putting together the first 5 minis, the 4 survivors and Lion. I actually have them right here in front of me.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, that's the other thing is I would have to put time to put those together. For
Yeah.
and finish reading the rule book.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a two-piece thing.
Oh yeah.
I just, if I want, I want I think I want the unicorn to be more forward like this, and I just can't. If I want it to be a single piece, it's going to have to be sideways like this.
Okay.
Which could be okay, but I like a little more dynamics. I don't know. I'm torn. I've been trying to experiment a little more with. I've done so much of my career has been really dynamic miniatures. Where I'm okay, just cut it up, but I'm trying to play around with doing single piece flat castings, but do what I can to make them look less like that. More dynamic. Like this guy. He's going to be one piece. I situate everything just so he lays. I mean, pretty flat in the mold.
Yeah.
But he looks like he's got a lot of action stuff going on.
Yeah,
so I was pretty excited about that. So we'll see.
I'm sorry, Tom. What was the name of that set you have? The Vulcan.
Volk-A-mold. And I only ever saw it at one place. I don't know if they're the ones that actually created it or if they're just the only people that carried it. It was like moldmaker.com or miniature mold maker, something like that. It was a long time ago that I picked it up. I actually came across somebody that had one as well, but it's been a long time. But it's a really cool little set. Actually, was part of the reason I haven't used it much recently is I've been doing everything in Fimo, and so I don't have. I'm kind of leery about molding it because it's not black rubber, but it definitely seems like a more of a traditional, rough rubber.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I thought about maybe trying to buy some of that. There's low temp rubbers out there that you can use for doing work great for Fimo. So, and I guess even if I had to buy a disc, I could just rip it up and cram it in the mold. That should work too. So, might try that sometime, or I might just do a little dummy piece and maybe what I have will work. I don't know.
About how much did it cost?
I want to say it was a couple $100. Maybe it was only 100. It wasn't super expensive, but I do remember kind of hemming and hawing about the price for a while. But I do that, so it might have just been me. Did you find anything that looks like it might be it?
No, not yet.
Yeah. Get in there.
How long ago was it that you got it?
Ooh, it's been a while. Like maybe 10 years even.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's been a while. But I don't know. It seemed like the kind of thing that wouldn't necessarily be discontinued. They could have it forever. But I guess if that company, I might have it. Let me see if I can find it real quick because I'm pretty sure I kept it in my old Hotmail account, like the receipt, just in case I ever needed to buy anything from there again. Let's see if we get lucky. I did find some emails about it. Alpha Supply, but I don't think that's who sold the Vulcan. Oh, they're out of business. Wow, I forgot about this guy. Let's see if I can remember his last name. Kevin Chenevert. Chenevert? He used to have a website, might still, called Lion Studio, Lyon. He was one of the first amateur, I guess, miniature sculptors that I found on the web, and used to always look at his stuff. And he had little tutorials. I think he was from New Orleans.
You didn't keep in touch with him?
We used to talk on. I mean, he emailed me back and forth a few times when I was getting my Vulcan mold set up, and mostly we interacted on the one list sculpting, and just as that's kind of waned, you know, yeah, I might reach out to him again. I should let him know. Yeah, I don't know if this thing exists anymore. Miniature Molds, that's who I bought it from. miniaturemolds.com. And the first kit I bought from them was Quicksil, which was I think it's RTV. It's RTV press mold. You just press it around your miniature, make a 2-part or whatever. You basically mix it together, 2 A, B parts. It's like a putty, a really soft putty. And I used to try. That was the very first thing I tried to mold with. And I was always so disappointed with the results. It was pretty good, but I didn't understand the whole process and the best way to cut vents. And obviously, it's not going to do as good as a vulcanized mold. Molds. Yeah, I don't see Vulcan mold on here.
But it's all from 10 years ago, over 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I am on their site, and they do have a steel mold frame. I don't know. I might reach out to these guys and see what they know. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's really around, though, anymore. Guess I got lucky. I don't know. I think I would still like to. There's a really cool spin cast molding set that's designed for hobby home users. Mm-hmm. All 3 machines, the pot, the vulcanizer, and the spin caster, they run off of standard, whatever, 110 outlets, right? Mm-hmm. They don't have to have, because a lot of the bigger machines, they have to have whatever it is, the outlets, basically like for your washer and dryer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, more powerful stuff, or gas hookup, and but this can basically fit on a one of those plastic, those little work tables they sell at any big hardware store. And yeah, I mean, it's still, I think it comes out to like $5,000 for all 3 machines and all the supplies. But I mean, that's kind of the price for one of your pieces of equipment, or 2 of your pieces of equipment for the full size thing. Mm-hmm. All right. So anyways, yeah, it's pretty cool, but that's my dream. That's what I really want to get someday. So cool. Well, anything last minute things you want to talk about, or
nope,
or ask about?
No, I'm gonna look into some of the stuff you mentioned, the convention.
Gotcha.
Look into that. I wanted to have more to show you this week. But it's just between work and things just keep popping up, and stuff with the house I still haven't done.
Yeah.
So the furthest
we'll try and eke out a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Just do a little bit.
I did manage to make these armatures. That's I put aside some time, but I just couldn't make enough progress to actually sculpt.
Right.
So last week I didn't really do anything because I was too busy getting my whole sculpting area set up.
Ah.
That was a thing.
Well, it's good to bank up armatures. I kind of think you can't have too many armatures ready to go because, sometimes that can be a real stopgap,
Yeah.
because you need to let them set up or whatever. But if you just have them made or even pose, you can pop over to them whenever you are in the mood, just put a little clay on. So
yeah. So probably next week I'll have something to show you from these guys because I'm pretty set up now, so I can just start working on them little by little every evening.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much, Tom, man. I really enjoyed, really good talking with you, hanging with you again.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for coming on, Rich. It's always great.
I'm gonna try and keep it regular. And I'm going to make serious effort to try to see you at one of these conventions. I just got to figure.
Awesome. Yeah, keep me posted. Let me know which ones you think you're gonna make it to. So
definitely will.
All right, buddy.
All righty. Talk to you soon.
Yep. Bye.
Later.